How strange is man? He loses his health in gaining wealth. Then, to regain his health, he wastes his wealth. He destroys his present while worrying about his future, but weeps in the future by recalling his past. You're like, I fucking tried, man.
Yeah.
I really gave it a shot.
You turn obstacles into opportunities, right?
But at my core, I gotta be all right with who I am.
Yeah. Was that an answer?
I don't know. Yeah.
What do you think? Social media, good or bad?
But anything can be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Like, I think alcohol can be used for good.
Yeah.
It's a social lubricant. You can get to know somebody. I think it can be abused. I think social media is the same thing.
What really drives you? I mean, everyone must have something, you know?
What do you think it is that drives you?
Do you think you'll ever be at a point where you'll have focused on yourself so much that you are ready for a relationship but don't keep need to focusing all of that on yourself? I genuinely just enjoy creating great relationships, growing business, and working with people. But live by the slogan, like, let go, let God, right?
How's that working out for you?
I mean, it's a battle, you know? I like...
Tabor Gates, welcome to Naturally Curious.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Good, about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming on the show. I'm excited to talk to you today. Both 26 years old. We were roommates in college. I think we're at pretty similar points in life right now.
Yep.
And I think we could get into the weeds a little bit about navigating our way through life, career paths, what we've gone through, some struggles, some highs and lows, and where you're at in life. So, to start, in this current moment, do you feel that you are ahead, behind, or neutral? In life, in career and work, however you want to take it.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. In life right now, going through some career changes, which we'll get into, I would say neutral, if or behind. I think like something I've been trying to work on is expectations for myself, right? And like setting a high bar, and I'm like never satisfied, right? There's always a next thing to achieve. There's always something else in business. There's what is your ultimate goals at the end of your life, right?
Yeah.
For me, like I'm trying to aim for success, business, finances, all of that. So like rearing in what I'm really looking for and what defines that being ahead or defined, because that could be different for everyone.
So when I ask you that, what do you think of neutral, ahead, or behind? What is your answer in terms of what you think, what others may think? What was your response? Like, what was...
I mean, immediately you go to career and what you've achieved, and I think that could be the way with a lot of people.
Yeah.
If it's not, then great for them, and they probably have a good mind space on things, but...
I guess it depends on where you're at in life, too, though.
100%. Yeah, like, going through a career change right now, like, there are people who are in the financial industry that started out of college.
They're ahead.
I would feel behind compared to them, right?
Exactly.
But as far as like business, some entrepreneurial stuff I'm working on, I might feel ahead in my age, but now again, you go on social media, you see what's out there. There's always someone better than you. There's always something you're trying to attain for. So yeah, I mean, there's always different expectations.
So like comparing yourself to others in a way?
Yeah.
Which I guess is what the question is. So career change, let's go into that a little bit. What, coming out of college, what was your major? What did you kind of want to do? Where did that lead you? And let's just start with that.
Major was business admin with a finance focus. We're the same. And then I did entrepreneurship on the side, which was good. Always had like business entrepreneurial mindset. Did that nonprofit in college, which was really fun. Basically, we had a For the Kids Christmas challenge where we jumped in the ocean every day for 31 days in December, raising money for Hasbro Children's Hospital.
How much did you raise?
$7,000 at year one. So that was fun. That was one of the better mental challenges I've ever done in my life. I don't know if you've jumped in the ocean, you have, but in the wintertime, it is miserable.
In Rhode Island?
Yeah.
It's
like
in December in Rhode Island, freezing cold. Yeah.
No, it's not great. But like cold plunges are a thing now too. So
it was kind of
pre-cold plunge.
It was pre-cold plunge.
Maybe we started the cold plunge.
It was before its time for sure.
But I think something with that is like, we'll get into more too, is having a great environment and energy around anything you do. Because like, if I didn't have Kyle, one of our roommates, Jack, you, and other people that were like hyping up this event and going and doing the plunges with you and challenging others, like I wouldn't be able to do that by myself every day. Or if I did, it would have been a long month of December.
So how do you think your environment, especially as an entrepreneur, determines the decisions you make and kind of the motivation? Because I think in order to be successful in business, in entrepreneurship, in fitness, it's almost delayed gratification, yes, but you have to be willing to not see results.
Yeah.
You got to show up every day.
Yep.
You got to give it, and like this is a good example with that, because you were doing it just for fun, and then people started like, damn, I want to go jump in the water, and then the whole community got involved, and you're seeing those results.
Yeah.
So for the sake of saying it, as if nobody was supporting this idea, would you still have jumped in the water if it wasn't raising money, if the community wasn't getting involved? Depends on
We'll never know.
Exactly.
We'll never know. But yeah, I mean, that's tough. And then as far as like, the career path and coming out of college, I had a great opportunity to work at a family company.
What was the company?
It's a waste management company in Rhode Island. Very large waste management company, do well. Uncle runs it, great guy.
Did you know at the end, towards what point in college did you know I'm probably going to end up? Because you were doing internships.
Yeah.
What point were you at where, like, all right, I'm going to go there?
I really didn't know what I wanted to do out of college. Yeah. And I think that is a struggle with a lot of people our age or generations around us, because we're open to so many different things now. Like, influencers are making so much money on different social media platforms. I know you do some of that stuff too. And like, there's so many different outlets and avenues to go into. It's like almost overwhelming.
Yeah.
Always had a strong interest in finances, like love helping people, love networking, love building client relationships, and like talk to our friends. We have some investment group chats, really passionate about that stuff. But do I want to do it as a career? Like, I'm not sure. I've always had like a big business entrepreneurial background, as we were talking about. And like, I don't know if I can imagine myself in one place for like 20 years, right? Like, I think finances and helping people with their investing is something I've always wanted to get into. Mm-hmm. But again, like coming out of college, I don't know. And if I felt like I was going down that path, you feel locked in, right? So I think just pursuing an opportunity that would really help me grow in business to start out when I was unsure was just what worked for me. Yeah. Yeah. Like, it was also a safer route.
Stable. Here's a company I can go into and get all that experience.
Yeah.
How did that change as you did get there and you got intertwined within the business?
Yeah.
What about your expectations changed?
As far as?
I'm going to come here, I'm going to learn all this stuff about business, and if I love it, I'll stay great. If I'm learning the things I want, if I'm passionate about it, I'll stay great.
Yep.
Obviously, you didn't end up staying, so something along that course must have steered you one other way. Was something pulling you? Was it something on outside of that job that was calling you? Was it something internal? Was it, what for you felt, all right, coming out of college, there's some pressure. I need to get a job because that's what everybody else is doing. I have my degree. Let me go make money, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What to you caused the change from that career path?
Yeah, I think that's tough. Like, there's so many different aspects of it, but I would say a lot of it is a gut check, right? Like, what just feels right. I think too, at this age, again, amazing opportunity, but to feel like I had my whole future kind of like this is what it was going to be, and kind of going down that path with, again, business and entrepreneurship. There's a lot of things out there I want to do, and I feel like, I want to be set free. I kind of want to fly, live in some different places, possibly explore the world a little bit. It just felt like
confined.
Yeah, it just felt like it was hard for me to do at this age, right? Yeah. Like, again, amazing opportunity. If it was in my 30s or something like that, it might have been what worked out. But at this age, I just feel like there's so much out there. Like, a ceiling could be, unlimited. Yeah. And I just have to see what's out there, basically.
Yeah. No, that's fair. So would you say there's more pressure now, being 26, and I guess kind of starting over, but do you think there's more pressure where we are now, being 26, going into these new fields, places, trying new things, or do you think there's more pressure when you come out of college, all your classmates are starting to get jobs, you're probably still more in touch with people because college had just ended. I don't know about you, you stay a little bit more in touch than I do, but I don't talk to a lot of people still from that point. So
I do it for you.
You do? and you get the groups together like this
Yeah.
weekend, for example.
Yep.
But saying it in the way that there's not as much social pressure because we're not all in contact. What are you doing for it? Like, you don't need to
Yeah.
constantly be explaining yourself.
Yep.
So like, that's my point of view. But what do you think? There's more pressure then or now?
I think now, I mean, I might be biased talking personally, but coming out of college, I feel like, you can't really make
Yeah.
necessarily a wrong decision. You might just not be sure of what you really want to do, and you're going to do something that's not going to work out. But like right now, for example, kind of restarting a little bit and finding some different avenues, I feel pressure because, I'm mid-20s right now. Like, I really want to build a family one day, and I want to have financial freedom for my family and kids and all that kind of stuff. So I think if anything, it's pressure, but it's also motivation. And I think that depends on your situation. But coming out of college, I think it also might depend on your family's background, right? Like, are you from a family of doctors? And there's the pressure on you that you're supposed to be a doctor. So I think that matters too. But I mean, either way you put it, there is pressure, right?
Where does where does that pressure come from? You think it is family based, or you think it's?
I think some of it is family based, right? Like if you're from a very successful family and they have these certain benchmarks, or this is what their family has lived up to.
This is what your grandfather did. This is what your father did.
Like,
this is what you're going to do.
You're supposed to fill these shoes. I think that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I think if you're someone who's just motivated and know what you want out of life, then it's more pressure on yourself. It's internal. But that's from within, not from your social circle.
So what would you define as successful?
For me, or
No, in that same regard, I'll have you answer that, but in
Yeah.
that same regard to somebody where, like, to your point, what I'm thinking right now, and
Yeah.
this is something we said before we even started rolling, because I'm going to challenge, like, these things.
Yeah.
If my grandfather was a doctor, if my father was a doctor, and now I'm supposed to be a doctor, and let's say I do it, I become a doctor, schooling is a pain in the ass, but you get it done. I'm now doing this thing, and I'm making great money, but I hate it. To my grandfather, I'm successful. To my father, I'm successful. To myself, I'm not.
Yeah.
Right? So you can kind of twist or navigate it in whatever way you see fit. But what do you think defines success in, like, the topic of conversation we're having right now? It doesn't need to be your own.
Yeah.
But to that person, what would be success? What is success?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. Like, for the individual who might not feel happy in that role, but from the outside world that is successful, I mean, there are people who stay at jobs that are successful based on career path, financial, what they're able to do, maybe even freedom.
Yeah.
But they're not happy.
They're working to live.
Yeah, so like they're successful as far as the life that they want to live, but maybe not what is passionate or filling all of their boxes. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think once people figure out what success really means to them and find value with it, that's where, like, the key of life is. Like, at the end of the day, it shouldn't really matter what other people think of your success, as long as you're content and happy.
Yeah.
Which, like, not many people figure out, and if they do, God bless them.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Leaving your first job, how long were you there?
3.5 years,
So
maybe almost 4, but
it's
yeah.
difficult, I think, leaving something, period.
Yeah.
Asking your supervisor, boss, hey, can we sit down, have a conversation?
Yep.
You're sweating, you're nervous, they're going to freak out, all the things that pop in your mind, the what ifs. For maybe the individual who has or is in that position right now, who hates what they're doing, they want to get out and they want to explore a new career field, what advice would you give them in terms of leaving that job, leaving that safe place, and just getting out of there, like, clean cut and dry? And what was your experience with it, and what advice would you give for somebody who's going through something similar?
Yeah, I mean, my experience was tough too, because it was an opportunity on top of kind of a role, right? Like, it wasn't really a typical 9 to 5. It was like operations, sales, doing a lot of different things, which was amazing. Like, I learned so much business experience. But at the end of the day, like, if you don't take any risks, I feel like you're really not living. And if you live in a comfortable state for forever, you're just not going to challenge yourself enough and reach what potential you have. Like, you might not know what's within you until you really take a risk and get on a path and something really works out. Like, I've been trying really hard to live by the slogan, like, let go, let God, right? Like, let it go. Like, either it's in the past or it's going to work out.
How's that working out for you?
I mean, it's a battle, you know? I expect certain things out of myself.
Yeah.
So I'm always, pushing myself, if anything, too hard on myself. And I think we both could be doing that at times.
Yeah.
Like, we know our potential and we know what we can do. But if we don't feel we're checking some of those boxes, or maybe even behind where we want to be, then it's frustrating.
Do you feel with the expectations thing, because you set the bar so high on yourself, that you're actually not being efficient with the work you're doing, you're just working to work? Because I think that's culturally a thing.
Yeah.
But we put pressure on ourselves. So I need to be doing something. If I'm not doing anything, like, I get anxious. I feel all these feelings. I need to be doing something.
Yeah.
Some type of, hopefully it's a needle moving task, whatever it is. But do you feel yourself, because I've experienced this, and I'll do something just to do it because I need to stay busy. It's not specifically a needle moving task. And I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurships start teetering off, is they're just doing the busy work. Yeah, doing the thing that's moving the needle.
Yeah, I think I'm a big checklist guy, right?
Yes, you are.
Journal, checklist, nothing feels better than accomplish something. But again, sometimes those things could be smaller, and it's just, all right, did we really move the needle, or did we just do something because we weren't feeling we achieved something that day?
Yeah.
And then going back to obviously that advice for people in those situations, if you think there's more out there for you, there probably is, right? So why not go try to find it? At the end of the day, you can always restart, even though it's very scary. I had a lot of fear doing that, right? Just being vulnerable and transparent. Being 26, I'm already 4 years into a career. I'm very safe, comfortable, I have a great future ahead, but I just felt there was more. And if you're feeling like that right now, or in that space, then you got to go for it. And it does suck at times, right? There's going to be things maybe you want to do that you shouldn't be doing. You got to work really hard. And it will work out, but you challenge and risk is what's great for everyone.
To that point, I think this is just a good intersection. I want to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
Because people hit success at different ages. Everybody's journey is different. Career path is different. I think how you said it, it is easy to stay on that comfortable route, and you could have a family and keep doing what you're doing. You could.
I mean,
those things. Yeah, you can ask what you got to ask. So I want to get back to how it felt leaving and the advice you would give, but before that, because of what you just said, I want to read this.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift signed with a label when she was 14 years old.
Okay.
She won her first Grammy before she was 21. To the definition of the term in that industry, successful.
100%.
Mark Zuckerberg became a billionaire at 23. Successful. Michael Phelps won his first gold medal at 19. Young, successful people. How does that make you feel right now? Me? I'm late. I'm behind. But to the point, Jeff Bezos quit a stable finance job on Wall Street at our age, at 26 years old. You think everybody was calling him crazy? Probably. He's on Wall Street making decent money.
Yeah.
Infamously, he was at McDonald's before that, all that stuff. He didn't start Amazon until he was 30 years old.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a story where I wanted to read both, and there's more. Morgan Freeman wasn't a recognizable actor until his late 40s.
Yep.
Vincent van Gogh, I love this one, didn't seriously start painting until he was 27 years old. He sold one painting while he was alive. He was considered broke and considered a failure.
Yep.
Goose?
Hello, Jet.
We're shooting here, buddy. Come here. The dog's in the shot. I'm going to read that one again because I want it to be clear. Jet, you're killing me, man. Vincent van Gogh didn't seriously start painting until he was 27. He sold one painting while he was alive, and by society and by his community, he was considered a broke failure.
Yeah.
My interpretation of all these messages is we're all on our own path. Early success doesn't mean fulfillment, and comparison is poison.
Yeah.
Right? So I wanted to read both ends because when I thought about reading those out loud, I was like, I want to sit with him and read to him points that people get to that level of what they're starting to get successful at.
Yeah.
Clearly every single one of these is different. 14, 21, 30, 40s. In your lifetime you weren't successful, and then you're one of the greatest painters of all time.
Grey Goose owner was 80 years old.
Right?
Worked at a wine, beer distribution place. Absolute Vodka. I just read this actually yesterday, which is perfect. Absolute Vodka killed it. All he did was change the marketing. 85 years old, he was a billionaire.
Yeah. Right? So you hear those stories, you hear different aspects, and either way, what you're doing is you're comparing yourself.
Yeah.
You're comparing yourself because now it's okay because he didn't do it until he was 40.
Yep.
So now I can justify my actions. I'm going to put this dog down. Or it's not justifiable because he did it at 14, 15, 16, 20, 21.
Yep.
Right? So no matter how you look at it, it's always a comparison game.
Yeah.
You can either make yourself feel comfortable or worse. It's up to you. How do you cut that out? Don't compare.
Yeah.
Are you better than you were yesterday? If not, be upset about it, get better.
Yeah.
If yes, continue doing what you're doing. And
No, that's a great outlook.
And you'll get there, right?
Yeah.
So like that's kind of my perspective on that.
Yeah.
But that's what I thought of.
So do you have a mapped out vision right now of what the next 5 to 10 years would look like?
Not specifically, because for me, it's continue doing what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And what I'm passionate about is honestly sitting down, having meaningful conversations with people. Hello, Goose. Come here. You're getting in this camera shot. What I would say is what I'm passionate about, and I just had this conversation at lunch. I think your passion is going to pull you further than anything else, because I'm going to continue to work out and be passionate about physical challenges because I know how it feels mentally. And I'll do that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Am I going to be as aggressive with it? Probably not. Like I'm kind of like, that's my career. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
In 20 years, I hope I'm still working out at least 3 times a week and eating decently. You know what I mean? But I want a family, same thing. So I'm not going to be, I don't want to have a 6-pack at 60 and have given all these things up. I want to go have a drink with my family. You know what I mean? So
freedom is wealth.
Freedom is wealth, and that's the value of money.
Yeah.
So what I would say, I don't have it mapped out specifically, but I'm going to continue to follow my passion. And I think that's the advantage we're at being 26. I think that's the advantage we're at being in our mid-20s.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're young.
We're going to. But I didn't have that when I was 22. I got out of college and I felt I've always done what I was supposed to do. I didn't even I went to college because that's what I was supposed to do. I majored in business because that's what my brother did. I graduated college and I'm like looking for somebody to tell me what I do next. That's what I've done my whole life. Mom, where do I go? What do I do for a job? You know, go here, go here, go
Social
here.
norm.
And that's where I ended up in insurance. I'm sitting there like, this just isn't what I want to do.
You were never going to work at a desk.
Never. I'm shocked I made it 6 months.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, as I get more into following my passion, and now I have a few clients on my coaching program. And the pricing is what it is, but I'm truthfully passionate about what I'm doing. So it's not even work for me, and it feels different than working a job, which it is. But like I could do what I'm doing now and not get paid. Like I genuinely enjoy it. And same thing with this. Like I like sitting down. The whole production is a shit show and the camera, but it'll get to a point. So I'm gonna do. If I do this for the next 20 years, I'm not going to stop because I'm passionate and I enjoy the process. If I wanted to do this just for I want to make $1 million podcasting. That's my goal. If I said that to you, and podcast 7, I'm like, dude, this is a grind. I can't do this. Like I hate my guests. I'm not going to make $1 million. But if I'm like, I love the shit show. I like sitting down.
You're going to stay through it.
You're going to keep going. And you lessen that gap of probability of failure is how I feel about that. What did you ask me specifically?
5 to 10 years.
Yeah, so no. I know I have an understanding of what I want to do. I have specific goals, clients at X amount.
Which is good. Like, I think I get too intertwined in the black and white, right? And like, okay, I'm stubborn. So this is what I have mapped out in my head, relatively. I mean, I don't have it down to a science, right? But, you know, what do those values are around that 5 to 10, right? Like, is money the first thing? If it is, we have to figure out how to shift that and find the passion, and then everything will come. I think what I've been realizing actually today, I was reflecting in the car because I had a few interviews, and like I am very passionate about helping people financially. Like I'm passionate about certain things, right? Like networking, business, entrepreneurship, setting people up for success, whether that's consulting or like financial help. So obviously my plan is going into finance right now to set up those avenues for people, and I am passionate about that. So I think at the end of the day, like you're saying, if you find some passion or even just interest in or liking what you do, like you'll make it work, and the money doesn't necessarily matter to a degree. But then again, when you look at people who have high expectations and are really trying to get to be somewhere.
But where do those expectations come from?
I think it's internal.
Let me put them down. Okay. Yeah, it's internal, but what do you mean? Because, all right, so to your point, this is what I was thinking. You said something along the lines of you're scheduled, you look at it as black and white, and you think, like, what happens next is what I'm asking you. Because, and this is a shift I've had. I've always think it's been somewhere in my head the way I think, but this is like this was a black and white shift for me. You make $1 million, then what? Because you can make $1 million next year, but the bar is going to go up.
Yeah.
Now I got to make 10 million. Okay, and then what? Now I got to make 100 million.
So what do you think about...
When are you satisfied? Is that success? No, because now you're in a different pool. You're swimming with the kids right now, then you're swimming with the millionaires.
Yeah.
I want to be swimming with the billionaires. So what's going to suffer? My family, my kids, my wife, my health, my thoughts on it. I think it's a relationship.
Yeah.
Right? But if I follow my passion and the money starts to eventually come, I can be all these things and I'm financially set because I'm doing what I love. And there's a market. There needs to be a market for what you're passionate about.
Oh, for sure.
You need to have some knowledge in that realm.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say that's where, like, I'm trying to bring religion into the mix more, too, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if you have a path and, like, you trust God and you are His Lord and Savior, right? Mm-hmm. And you're really trying to reel in that religion, at the end of the day, it will work out, right? Like, you will be rewarded, but it shouldn't be about money. It shouldn't be necessarily just about success. Like, it has to allow with passion and faith and just setting out to help others. And, like, I'm sure you love when you get a client who texts you and is like, dude, this has been the best 3 months of my life. Like, you've changed my life. You probably wouldn't even care if you got paid for that client. But you're like, I set out what I wanted to do. Like, I made someone feel so good about themselves that, like, I'm just proud of it.
That on top of getting your value.
Yeah.
So he provided me with money so that he can experience that as, like, it's an exchange of services.
Yeah.
Goods for services, however you want to look at it. It's economics. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And if you can do that within something you're passionate about, that's the win.
Yeah.
Which is what I would say we're still both searching for.
Yeah.
And I think you're now on a different route. To go back to, and I think we'll have a little bit more of like an organized flow because just answer and go, but to the point of leaving your job, right? What were the feelings of legitimately having to walk in the office and say, this isn't for me? And then what advice would you give to somebody experiencing it? Because I remember when I walked in to quit that insurance job, I was sweating, shaking, nervous.
Dude, I didn't sleep for a couple, I don't know, maybe a week or two prior to it, because, like, there's always stuff going on in your head, and we'll talk more about this too, but, like, the inner roommate that we always talk about.
Yeah.
There's always so much garbage and junk going on up in your head. And
how do you manage that?
I mean, you just have to try to quiet the noise.
What do you do? You specifically.
I mean, I try to write it out. Like, when you think about it, you remember the book that it's in, The Inner Roommate? You know what I'm talking about, though, right? If you take, your thoughts and negativity going on, that is basically your inner roommate.
Yeah.
So if I took this out and put it on the street and it was you, I would never be friends with you. I wouldn't listen to you. I would think you're a terrible person. Why is this guy saying this stuff to me? And then if you have that kind of mindset, which I try to do, but it's still very difficult, you should just cut that out. Like, it shouldn't matter. You have to try to quiet the noise. And it's a struggle for me, for everyone. It's very hard to do. But going back to the job, it's just like, what is the gut, right? What is going to be ahead of this? And, like, how can I stay motivated and try to have a positive outlook on it? But yeah, I mean, didn't sleep, stressed, fearful, nervous, which are all feelings that you will go through if you're going to take major risks. But it's very difficult.
Inner roommate, I think, is a perfect analogy because so many people have those two voices. And this is what made me fall in love with running.
Yeah.
I don't like running. I do. I like the challenge. I like how I feel after. But if you sign up for a competitive run, race, whatever it is, and you're pushing yourself to exhaustion, you're going to experience a point where your inner roommate is going to start telling you to give up, quit, why are you doing this, everything hurts, stop. And you can either have the voice that says you can push me however hard you want, I'm not going to stop, or you can listen.
Yeah.
And if you listen, you're going to feel bad about yourself if you let them win. So that's why I like doing the physical challenges, because it makes when you experience those moments in everyday life and work that much easier. Because I just had this conversation last week.
Yeah.
We just talked last week.
When you finish, you obviously ran a bunch of races. When you finished a marathon and you're like, wow, that was so hard, but I mentally conquered that and achieved it. Like, at the end of the day, was telling your boss at insurance really that difficult? Like, was it really that bad? Or was I just in my head so much that there was so much fear of failure and I wasn't going to make it in life, or I wasn't going to find my passion? Like,
that's why I do hard. That's the value in doing hard things. To make your point, I was listening to James Sexton on Modern Wisdom the other day.
Yep.
And you just said this. He said, if there was someone talking to you out loud in my presence, the way I talk to myself in the morning, I would step in between you two and say, who are you to talk to him like that?
Yeah.
You don't know what he's going through, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I related so well because I'm not a morning person.
Yep.
You know that.
Yeah. Well, usually didn't sleep well in college.
Yeah, still don't. But I was like, damn. The way I talk to myself in the morning is so bad.
Yeah.
I need coffee. I need to move my body. And then things feel not even elevated. My dopamine's not even higher. I'm just, all right, I can be me now.
Yeah.
And I heard that and I thought of that. But I think that's applicable to anything.
Yeah.
The way you talk to yourself and what you tell yourself is the biggest things, period.
Yeah, it's your mentality and energy, and we'll talk about this more down the road too, but there was this really cool thing I saw about a hire for, or a teammate basically for Texas Longhorns women basketball. And she is a personality hire. Okay? Like, that's what she...
How'd you feel about that?
That's what she markets herself on LinkedIn.
Yeah, she's a locker room girl.
She's a locker room girl. And I'm like, that is awesome. I don't know why more teams don't do that. Because rather than having...
That's a necessity. You need environment with everything. My boy.
Gotta tell him. But it's a necessity. Like, imagine having a 10th teammate who's like, vibes, like a decent player, but is not contributing to the team. They're like mad they're not playing. They don't really care if the team's winning. They want minutes. It's a negative atmosphere.
I played with people like both. You
100%. Yeah. You bring in a personality hire that is there to
then your
bring everything, the team
better.
chemistry.
Yeah.
It's no matter what, they're always there for you. It's always a positive. And I thought that was like amazing. That she was saying she's a personality hire. I don't think she plays much, but it was like awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
Mario said that to me like the day when he was working both jobs, because he was at Fit and he was doing territory management for Aya Healthcare.
Okay.
And he was like, his hours at Fit were slipping because he had a full-time job. He was like, I think they're just keeping me on as like a personality hire. And then I got there, I was like, yeah, they are.
He said that to me too, yeah.
This is a good quote, and I think it's applicable to where we're at right now. Imam Ali. How strange is man? He loses his health in gaining wealth. Then, to regain his health, he wastes his wealth. He destroys his present while worrying about his future, but weeps in the future by recalling his past. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had that mindset for a little bit. Like, right, you see an opportunity, wealth-wise maybe, or business opportunity or something. You're like, I can do this for this amount of time to get to this number or this role, and I can sacrifice these core things. And then once I get there, I can focus on myself. But what happens if you get sick? Like, what happens if something goes wrong? Like, what happens if your health deteriorates? Like, then that needs to be a core focus. If your like health, mindset, fitness are intact, no matter what you're doing, I feel like the world is your oyster. But if you're like really deteriorating or not paying attention to those things and sacrificing it for one objective, like let's just use money as an example, like you might pay the consequences and it might not work out for you down the road. And at the end of the day, what is that money if you don't have your health?
Agreed. To your same point, it's tough because you do need to find a balance, right? And I think honestly why us sitting down and having this conversation can be beneficial to young 20-year-olds, people coming out of college, people in jobs they don't love, is because it's so easy to throw on a podcast of somebody who's hyper successful and making millions of dollars from that podcast. So how do you deal with the struggles is different when you and I sit here and it's like recently off the job market and like both in entrepreneurship fields and not probably where we would like to be financially, but getting there. Yeah. Right. So we're almost more relatable, but I think the same necessity that you just mentioned is you needed to work those 3.5 years, 4 years. You needed to, because if you were just coming out of college and it's like, I'm going right in head speed, I have no financial, and there's ways to get around that. You can raise money, you can raise capital. Yeah. But it's not realistic for most people. Like you need to be working another job to work on your side hustle. Yeah. You need to do something you don't want to do so that you can live and survive. Yeah. And then everybody's story is different, you know? Like, thank God I'm single because I don't imagine a girl would want to stick around if I'm going up and down, like financially, I'm bouncing all over the world.
You're really easy to plan with.
I'm very easy to plan with. Yeah. I'm very But you know what I'm saying? I just had this conversation at lunch. If I was in a relationship, either the relationship would struggle or what I'm trying to do in my life would struggle. And I accept that. So I'm like, right now, I'm going to put everything here and hopefully it works out so that this can prosper. Yeah. You know?
So let me ask you a question. Do you think you'll ever be at a point where you'll have focused on yourself so much that you are ready for a relationship, but don't need to focusing all of that on yourself?
I hope so. I think I don't like myself.
In what regards?
I just don't like who I am. Like I think, and I'm curious if it would shift because even if I got to a point of success, would I then like myself? Yeah. Maybe. Like if I was to my standard successful, you've done all these things. And I think that's where my shift has come with different avenues, but financially could be better. Emotionally could be more vulnerable. Like there's things that I still need to work on. So when I feel comfortable, and I don't think that's a right timing thing. Yeah. I think you need to be thrown in the fire and then figure it out as you go, especially in relationships and entrepreneurship. But I hope so is my answer.
No, I'm just curious because like you're always going to be entrepreneurial. You're always going to be doing a lot of things. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like, what is that benchmark for you where you feel like you've grown so much or you're at a level of like, okay, I think I have a little bit more time because you might not have the time.
Stability.
Freedom, maybe a little bit.
I think it's more stability. Yep. I have a stable income. Yep.
Your business is operating almost without you in a sense.
Yes. Or
with systems in place.
Systems are in place and marketing is so well that I don't need to worry about it. And at least I've probably grown enough, a stack of financial cushion. Yeah.
Scratching himself.
Yeah. And he is something else, man. And the other thing is stability. Yeah. I just was in Asia 2 months ago. I'm in Connecticut now. I want to be in San Diego. So if I was home, even when I'm home for 2 months, I think about it as if I go on a date, what's the point in other than maybe like physical, great, but we'll go out, have drinks and maybe flirt with a girl or two. Yeah. But if I like take this girl out, we start hanging out and then I'm like, oh, should I go back to San Diego? Like I have these goals that are going to suffer and that's my mindset. I think that's tough because it's also putting myself in a box. You know, you never know. Yeah. So like relationship wise, that's my opinion on it. I think I would like, I'm more conscientious of it. I know have commitment issues and like, even when I do get to that point of feeling, I start to run away because, you know, broken home, but that's what it is. Like, but I'm aware of that stuff. Yeah. And that stuff I just try to be mindful of and be like, all right, when these feelings start to come, understand why and try to navigate it a little bit better. But again, like we're both growing in so many ways.
Yeah, I think like navigating and understanding why things are the way they are, or what is like this needs to be worked on, or this is why this needs to be worked on.
Yeah.
Like that's the first step for everything. Business, personal, like relationships, no matter what it is, once you understand or unpack what's going on.
How do you feel about that same thing though?
As far as being where I want to be and like,
well, right now specifically, right? Because it's a little different when you were, I mean, let's kind of get into it. We'll touch on it because you were in a long distance relationship working this job, and you're now almost in a complete 180 of now you're pursuing something that you may feel a little more passionate about, and you're single.
Yeah.
So what's the shift going on for you? What's your mindset at with that? Were you more comfortable in the relationship? Do you feel like there's less pressure now? Go into it.
Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously there's more time, right? So like, working at a company that had a lot of stuff going on and managing and operating, like that was a large task in itself. And long distance for anyone, like I have multiple friends from my hometown that do long distance and they make it work, but they also have flexible work schedules, right? So I think like that has helped them a lot. Like I didn't have a flexible work schedule. I was pretty much 9 to 5.
No time off.
Yeah. With, like no hybrid, right? Like, because it is a Rhode Island company, it's kind of hard to do something like that. Mm-hmm. You know, so flexibility, as we've been talking about, is a great freedom for you in an industry, but time has been good to mostly just work on myself. Like I'm kind of the same page as you. I have a bunch of things I'm working on, entrepreneurial, like really excited about a business opportunity. You know, shout out Well Duel. Like I think we have great things coming with that. A couple other side things. And I think it's really just getting back to the basics of what really fires me up, right? And like what I can grow and network. Like, you know me, like extrovert, love networking, love talking to people. Like I have unlimited time for that right now. It's like I can grow, and I was in New York last week, like Connecticut this week, and then like board meetings and all this different stuff, and just meeting people. Like who you know sets up everything. You know what I mean?
Agreed. You
talk to people in business, you talk to people just like personal relationships, like making those new relationships and being like, dude, you should be a client, or my friends, you know, would love to be your client. Like that stuff's just awesome.
In terms of relationship stuff, so you're saying it is the freedom now that is giving you an advantage of all that kind of. Because you could look at it as like a negative snowball effect if that's your outlook, or you can look at it as a positive.
Yeah.
Lost your job, single.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what you wanted in a way. So it's a positive. It's not specifically, but it is like now you have opportunity to do the things you just said. So that's a positive aspect.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody might be like, I'm down on my luck.
Yeah. If you're going to like get in a lull, right? And you're going to be like negative, like why me or why is this situation happening to me? Like, yeah, you're screwed. You're screwed. Like you got to have a positive outlook. My mom has always said, turn obstacles into opportunities, right? Or something like that. So I think, just finding what really drives you. I mean, everyone must have something, you know?
What do you think it is that drives you?
I genuinely just enjoy creating great relationships, growing business, and working with people. Like, we'll probably go out later or something. Like I could literally go talk to someone at a random table that I have no idea who it is, and we would become best friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really enjoy that.
My sister said yesterday, shout out Cass, it's his birthday. Probably won't watch this.
Yeah.
And my sister was like, I'm so excited for you to meet Tabor. I was like, why? But to the point of you're making no, you are a great guy. You know, I bust your balls, but you get along with everybody in a way of, you know, what can I pull out of this person that you make others feel comfortable. You make others want to get involved in whatever it is your ideas are, what you approach. And I think that's 10 steps ahead of the game because it is all who you know.
Yeah.
It is all right. You have these intangibles already. Now, if you can find something that you're passionate about, and maybe that's finance, if you can communicate the way you do and you go in a room and say, I'm going to make you all 20% more money than you have in your bank account right now, what are they going to say? No.
There's always a sale to be made.
Exactly. And if you're in the financial side of it, if you make people money, they're never going to be upset with you. Yeah. It's when you start losing them money, but that's a different story. Yeah. Right? So
what's interesting too is like going back to the relationships and work is like, there are people who do long distance and don't have that flexible schedule, but also like that's what they want to do, right? Like, I think it depends on people's like needs and wants. Like my parents, for example, like love them to death. Like we're comfortable or whatever, but it's not like they have certain ambitions or want to do certain things. Like they're more like homebodies and just really like have their relationship, family, and that's what really matters to them, right? Like, so I think it depends on the individual on what's right and not right for them. Like love in a family and a relationship and just a stable income could be what makes someone really happy. And that, like, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I would call it a problem of our generation is I could open Instagram right now and say, damn, his college roommate flew him to Hawaii. The fuck are you doing? Not a great example, but you open social media and it's so easy to compare. So if you're in a relationship and you see these Valentine's Day posts, and everybody's like, and maybe,
Tough day to be on social media.
maybe for you, but you see these things and now your girlfriend's comparing your relationship to their relationship, and you should be doing the same thing he's doing for her.
Yeah.
And it's like the common theme is the comparison game, because I think you said it so well with your mom and dad love everything. They have 2 great kids. They have the home. They're happy with their life. That's all they need. That's all they want.
Yeah.
What would change that is start comparing it to others.
Yeah.
Changing your beliefs and what you want and why, so that others view you a certain way. Right. And you can't pull that out of somebody. You want what you want. So how do this is what I want, and I'm not going to stop until I get that.
Yeah.
And then that goes back into the same conversation of, then I want more.
Yeah.
Right. But you come to a point, and this is a good time to turn this into fame, sex, money, power. Saw this video the other day. Aunt Gail and I have been having a conversation about it also.
Shout out to Aunt Gail.
Shout out Aunt Gail. Those 4 things you can almost always root to why somebody behaves the way they do.
Money, sex, power,
fame.
fame.
Right? So in almost any avenue you want to go, why are you doing what you're doing? And if it's not for making somebody feel good, self-fulfillment, progress in a positive way, you can almost always blame one of those 4 things.
Yeah.
The point being made there, right? So like, you can't even believe, why would somebody do that? And like, I'm trying to think of an example. I don't know if you've got anything, but you can almost always say money, sex, fame, power.
Any movie.
Any movie. There's no plot if you don't have that, but there's also there's no right and wrong if you don't have that, those desires. And I think that probably goes into your piece of religion, right? It's like, all right, well, what gives my life meaning? Are we chasing sex? Like, if we go out tonight, what's the end goal? Specifically, when we went out in college, what was the end goal? Why are we going and getting banged up? Like, we're getting drunk for what? One of the 4, right? And it's probably going to be sex, hopefully.
Speak for yourself.
Money, right, is probably where we're at now. Why would you make a career move? Because I need money. So it's one of the 4. Why would you scum somebody out of, I'm going to charge you more to do your roof because I want more money?
Funny enough, right now, though, I'm at a point where I'm not doing it for money.
I think that's very...
Right now, right? Which is interesting.
But I think just having that, like, all right, like, it's interesting. And then you start getting into the weeds of why you're doing what you're doing. Because I genuinely like it.
Yeah.
You could pay me 10 grand, you could pay me 1 grand.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But also knowing your value, so there's a crossroads there.
Did you ask me a question? Did I answer it?
I just said money, sex, fame, and power, because I think that foundation of... And it's like when we're younger, too, as 22-year-olds, it's almost easily one of those 4 things.
Yeah.
We're going to this event. All right, I can post it on my social media. That's fame. That's a whole nother one, right?
Yeah.
Because if I ask myself this all the time, would I run, would I work out, would I do all these things if nobody else knew about it? Probably not to the same extent. Like, there's points when I'm running and I'm like, I'm going to post my Strava and it's going to say 10 miles. I'll do 10.
Yeah. But that's also the influencer thing. Like, you have to do that.
Yes.
What do you think? Social media, good or bad?
I think it is a tool, and I think it can be used for both. I think it can be used for good or bad. Anything can be taken advantage of. It's like, I think alcohol can be used for good.
Yeah.
It's a social lubricant. You can get to know somebody. I think it can be abused. I think social media is the same thing.
What do you think about alcohol sales being down like $7 billion
For our generation. I think our generation is more informed. We have easy access to information. Social media, that's a positive.
Also, how many podcasts do you go on and like, you should not be drinking alcohol, or you should not have more than 2 drinks of alcohol a week?
The straight health, yes, right. I think also there is a big health and wellness movement. The fitness
It's
industry,
probably the biggest market right now.
it's the biggest gap, and so that's grown the most, and alcohol is going down. I don't think that is a coincidence. I think there's a correlation between the two. Where we go out tonight, I have 2 drinks. I could wake up and work out in the morning.
Yep.
We go out tonight, I have 10 drinks. I'm not waking up at all tomorrow morning.
Well, you're waking up. We just don't know where.
We just don't know where, when, or why.
Yeah.
But that's different than 20, 30 years ago where you just kind of accepted that. You didn't know what was happening to your body. You didn't know it was destroying muscle. You didn't know your metabolism is being affected negatively.
Yep.
So yeah. If somebody... This is another good point. Because I finished my journal that I started.
I saw that.
Junior year of college.
Yeah.
In that shoebox of a room. I got it after reading McConaughey's Green Light books.
Yeah, great book.
And it's so funny, like looking at some old stuff. I can't even say this part, but there's something about you in there. And I went back and I read because I'm like, damn, I wrote on the first page on March 3rd, 2021. And I wrote on the last
Probably
page.
the day after we had our first ever fight.
No. That might be in there. But it's all like reflections of me. I'm like, damn, I cheated on that exam, got an A grade.
Yeah.
Or like, I didn't do well on that exam, whatever. But looking at so many similar memories to me, and like, I was so stressed out junior year, and I'm sure you were too. I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? I'm starting to hit this point of we graduate, we have one more year, enjoy it. But like, you don't love what you're learning right now. You're kind of
It's also COVID.
It was COVID, so we were online. Like, I'm not even really learning. I could just look up whatever.
Impossible to learn online.
Impossible. So it was a hard time for us to be college students because we're trapped in a house. I would say it made me, you, Jordan, Eric,
hard time educationally. Not social.
Probably the best time of our lives.
Yeah.
But I need to be thrown into society in a few years. And this is how I'm preparing, is I'm stuck in a house with 4 other alcoholics. Like, best time of my life.
Yeah.
But it puts pressure on you of like, what the hell am I going to do when this is over?
Yeah.
So I'm rambling, but the point I'm saying is,
listen, it's your podcast. I'm just there.
I know. True. I'm doing more talking on this one than any other one. And the point I'm making is going back and looking at memories I wrote in 2021 at 21 years old, 22 years old. And on almost every page, it was like, you're going to die one day. Relax. Do what you love. And on pages from last week, it was, you're going to die one day. Do what you love. And I never reflected. And on that, I wrote on the last page, and then I went back and reflected, and I was like, I've always told myself these same things. And I'm in a similar point now of life where I would say the same things to myself, but I'm starting to finally implement them. And I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But it's like, you could read as many books as you want. Are you changing your actions at all?
Yeah.
I have been a victim of not doing that. I've read plenty of books, and I'm, damn, that's a great idea. I need to do that. And I took action. I'm like, I needed to leave the country and just go explore and find myself in a way, but see the world and do all these things. So to my point, interesting seeing how much I've changed in 5 years, and interesting seeing how much I haven't. And I would recommend journaling to anybody.
Yeah.
100%. I know you do. And I know, it took me 5 years to finish that journal. That's not impressive. Like, I wasn't writing every day. Like,
Yeah. No, I'm not that consistent with it either. So,
yeah. So the point I wanted to make,
do you think your statement of you're going to die one day, do you think that builds onto your emotional, not caringness, right?
I think that's cynicism.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I had to come to terms with, because I think if you asked me that question at 22, I would have said, what's the point?
Yeah.
And that's cynicism. And that's, what's it when you don't believe in
Atheist?
Atheism.
Yeah.
So I think the theme of being an atheist is like, nothing matters. We're all going to die one day anyway. I think the theme I've gone into, and I still feel this way, but I think as you follow more things that give you feelings of joy, happiness, and like, it doesn't mean you're going to live a happy life. I think for me, it's just like, you're going to die one day. Do those things that give you joy, happiness, and feel.
When you look
positive.
back, you don't want to see that you regret or not did something that you should have just done.
I think even something with the podcasts and being like a good person, and you've probably experienced this also, is I've gotten to a point now where what's going on internally in my head doesn't justify my actions.
Yeah.
So I can't treat people poorly because of what's happened to me in the past and what's going on up here.
Yeah.
Because that just dictates how they view me.
Yeah.
Now they look at me and like, yeah, he's kind of an ass. But you don't know what
Exact thing I thought when I met you freshman year.
but you don't think, you got to tell that story. But you don't think up here, I'm like, well, I'm an ass because I've been through some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, at the end of the day, everyone has a problem, and
It shouldn't justify your actions if it's negative. It's
Yeah.
cynicistic.
sure. Yeah.
So like that was a big point for me. And now I think the way I take to answer your question is you're going to die one day, do what you love is at its core is all of us have a limited amount of time on earth. You ridicule me, have your opinion of me, do what you want. And there's times where it gets through the cracks. I
Yeah.
feel it sometimes,
Yeah.
but at my core, I got to be all right with who I am.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I'm like, that's always been a theme and I'm finally starting to act on it. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say that, like everyone's dealing with shit.
Yeah.
You don't know, like you could see someone and they might have the biggest smile on their face, but you have no idea what's going on at home too. So I think just being genuine and like nice to people like goes a long way. Like you see sometimes like a video of someone getting pulled over and they just like break down crying because like something awful happened and the cop, you know, hugs them or gets out of the car, and like those videos are awesome because you don't know what people are actually dealing with.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, always be kind, like always have a genuine conversation, try to get to know people. But the other thing is too, like, sure, you might be in your head so much negatively about what's going on. Like, you know, for me, I dealt with tension headaches for a long time. And it's like, if you've had headaches or migraines, like, I know how you feel, like they're miserable, like they suck. But at the end of the day, there are the worst things out there too. You know, like someone could have cancer or someone could have lost their leg. You know, like there are way worse things out there, and you have to appreciate what's going on and just have that good outlook on it.
Yeah, and I think it is weird. I play devil's advocate all the time, right? Because it's the same thing where I think I've suffered more through like a younger age, getting to a point until finally being, if you want to call me an adult now, great.
Yeah, that's very like
Yeah, it's
hashtag, yeah.
But I've always been like, I could go through something that is tough, and I've always been the type of person to be like, there's so many people that have it worse.
Yeah.
And like, that's a key indication in depression and whatnot of like, you're comparing yourself to people that you shouldn't be comparing. It's comparison again. Like you're going through a tough time, accept that and try to.
Do you care what people think?
I do. I think it's a reflection of myself. I'd like to say I don't, but I think it depends on what it is. If it's something I'm incredibly confident in, if I'm in the gym, I don't care what anybody says because I'm so confident in myself in that manner.
That's your safe space.
Yes. If it's something I'm trying for the first time, and I've gotten a lot better at this because I'm all right with being bad at something, so I can justify it.
Yeah.
But if I really try something and it doesn't come off as good, then I care what people think. Right. So it's like, how do I justify it to myself? If I do 100 episodes of a podcast and on episode 100, everybody hates it. It's like, I'm going to care what people think. I did 100.
Yeah. Listen, this isn't my third one, you know?
Yeah. So like even I think this episode.
What number is this?
Technically recorded 7, but it will be posted as 6.
Okay.
But like still, I know more now than I did. We got lights out here.
Yeah,
right?
we got a whole
charade.
Charade, yeah. Dog.
It's hopefully getting and you can't control that.
No.
Could have. Kim. But taking what you can control, and do I care what people think? I would say it's not black and white. It's gray.
Yeah.
Depends on the situation, the environment, where I'm at. I think getting into a flow state, this has always been the goal with whatever it is that I'm doing, because I could get to a gym for the first time and I'm looking around, he's jacked, she's doing her thing great. And I'm a little, and then you start working out and you get in a flow and you're like,
get some music going.
Yeah. How about yourself?
100%.
In what manner?
I think it's like how I want others to see me. right? Like, I think if I was like, oh, he's doing that, like, oh, what are they thinking about him? And how do they think he is doing that? Right? Like, I think that's how I would think about it. But yeah, I mean, definitely, I would say it's hard not to.
You said it perfectly, because it is how, it's not the truth that matters. It's how you're perceived.
Yeah, yeah.
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that's why people say they don't care what people think.
Yeah.
Because if I do this and it justifies who I am, you are what you do. Right? So I think Williamson just said something and it was so good. I think he posted it on his Instagram. And it's not that you care what people think of you. It's that you care they think the wrong thing of you.
Yeah.
Because I've spent my whole life trying to do this, and maybe there was a rumor or something like this that changed people's perspective, and it's not even true.
Yeah, yeah.
If it was true, then it's different.
Yeah.
But the fact that people believe something that isn't even true, that's what eats away at you.
100%. What I've been dealing with recently is like the career change, right? Like relationship change. Like knowing I'm not or wasn't at my full potential or achieving what I really wanted to achieve or have mentally set out to and hit that ceiling, that's what drives me crazy.
What do you mean?
Meaning like tension headaches have been a thing I've been struggling with. So like figuring out the Botox route, like I take medication for it right now, like figuring that avenue out, but then also like having all my eggs in two different baskets, but knowing like I'm just not achieving what I want, what I need or want out of myself, health wise, career wise, passion wise. Right. And like, it could be in anything. Like right now, I'm sure you're feeling in training that you're hitting some of those things and your potential. But fitness wise, right, to humble you a little bit, let's go back to High Rocks.
Come on, kid.
Like after that though,
Yeah.
like you probably felt like this is not my potential, frustrated, a little bit defeated. But how you will respond, which I know you will, is like, it's going to be double as sweet the next time you do an event or a competition. And you also set out to achieve something very difficult from the start, which is who you are, right? But I think like when you're doing certain things and we have these visions and we're doing entrepreneurship, business stuff, and we have all of these goals set out for ourselves, and you don't feel like you're hitting that amount or what you know internally you're capable of, like, for example, for me, that eats away at me.
And I think it's better to have that, though, than the opposite, where...
Yeah, because you just wouldn't care.
Well, you achieve a small goal, and then are you satisfied?
Yeah.
Right? And I'll ask you this, in that same note, do you feel that you... Because I think there's a middle ground. Do you feel that after a small win, let's say it's entrepreneurship, you made your first sale, you started this company, and people are liking it, is that ever enough? What is your thought when something like that happens to you? We've got a little bit of success. Guys, we did it.
No.
What do you feel?
Never satisfied.
So you're not even close to where you want to be.
Yeah.
So you said it about me, and I know we're like-minded in that manner. That's just who we are. But I thought about this when I walked into Bangtao Muay Thai in Thailand.
Yeah.
Because there's fucking killers in that place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I walk in and my buddy's making his pro debut. People in here have been doing this for years and years and years. This is my day one.
Yep.
And I'm like, I need to be as good as that guy.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for 10 years. I want to be as good as him. So I think there's a healthy and an unhealthy line there, because I will always do that. And I think it's funny because when I coach people who don't have the same mindset, you have to take into account that.
Yeah.
But look at the best person who's doing it, because I want to be better than them.
Yeah.
So set the bar high. I was there for 2 weeks and I improved drastically.
Yeah.
2 days a week, 2 days, 2 times a day, but comparing myself for the better to these people who have mastered their craft.
Yeah.
Compared to if you go somewhere, and my coach is average. You know, my coach, well, what has he achieved? He fought in some tournament. Like he's a very mid-tier guy.
Yeah.
Well, then you're not going to be better than that. Your coach is going to teach everything he knows to be mid-tier. I want to be the fucking best. So go to the best.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with the best. It's the same thing work-wise. Be in a city where the people here are the best performers.
Yeah.
That's why I want to be in San Diego. I want to be surrounded by the best in the fitness community.
Yeah.
And I think that's just, again, like we're at that point where we're in our mid-20s. I want to give it everything I got. By 50, I could fail miserably and be like, I fucking tried, man.
Yeah.
I really gave it a shot.
You
You
can't
know?
say you didn't go after it.
Yeah, I'll be 50 on your couch with a family of 4.
It's fine. Step brothers.
Do you think that fear is a real concept, or do you think it's comparison driven? My background on my phone is, besides death, all failure is psychological. Do you think it's a real thing, or do you think it is?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I think fear is primarily psychological, right? But actually failing is not psychological. Okay? So like, and I mean, I'm all about taking a risk. For everyone out there watching, take the risk. But if you set out to do something and you really do fail, right? What is that state of mind? Obviously, some people are going to be, okay, let's go at it again. But then other people, is that fear or is it defeat? So like, yes, I think fear is a legit concept, but it is psychologically driven, right? Like, why do people not take risks? Because they're fearful it won't work out. So I think that's kind of a tough question that you set me up there for.
Yeah, good. I wanted you stumped. But even to your point, I still think that it is psychological. If you can give me a specific example, we could go into it.
Trying to think of one.
Because if I do not succeed at what I set my mind out to do, and it depends on time frame, it depends on the goal, and it depends on so many different things. You said it too, though, because you could have failed, but are you going to come back? What's stopping you from trying again?
Yeah. I think for something that you are not like very out of line qualified for, right? Like, for example, the Olympics is going on right now. Mm-hmm. If I was to do one of those events, massive fear.
Yeah.
Like, that is psychological, but it's also because I know I'm so unqualified to do this right now that the likelihood of success versus failure is pretty drastic. For example, like the bobsledding or whatever.
Yeah, but I would also make the argument on that note that you didn't prepare. Your journey wasn't guided to.
I'm saying going into it without a journey.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I think that the journey and the preparation is what causes you to be set up for that moment. Mm-hmm. Because it's the same thing with anything. If I go into let's say we go take a Pilates class tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we've never done it. I'm not expecting to be
that fear is psychological.
It's the same thing though, because I'm not expecting to be the best person in there because this is my first time. If we go do Pilates for a year,
okay,
and then you want me to teach a class,
yep.
I've been doing this for a while now. I'm way more comfortable and there's less fear because I'm confident in who I am. So the psychological, yes, but I think you need to put into perspective, how do you feel about it? Did you put the work in? And it's like Kobe Bryant says, I've taken the shot 100 times.
What about the fear, the different fear and aspects of what the failure that occurred is?
What do you mean?
For example, a failure could be death. A failure could be, okay, let's try this again. So like, is it just cut and dry? It's like failure and non-failure, and then fear is the psychological in between the both?
What is preventing you from trying again? Wouldn't it always just be death?
I mean, you could have a serious injury. Like, there could be other things that happen.
Yes. I mean, unless you told me, I think that's again in the gray because it's situational. You can always pivot. You can always change what it is you're trying to do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if it's inspiring others, I guess all you really need is your voice.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is more psychological. And then at the end of the day, it's talent. Am I ready? Have I gotten to this point to do it?
There's intangible things that are going to affect if you get to a certain point.
Yeah.
Are you a failure if you gave everything you had to the game of basketball, but you couldn't play in the NBA because it's like, I don't like the word impossible.
Are you using me as an example?
I'm just saying anybody, but yes, you. Are you a failure if you did everything in your power to get to a certain point? I would argue you're not because
I would argue not as well.
Because you've given everything you've had to it and now you can sleep at night and that's why I think it's psychological.
Yeah.
Compared to somebody told me I couldn't do it. I can't do it. I'm a failure. Right. Like quitters never win. Winners never quit. I don't like cliche, but I can always try again. Always.
Yeah.
There's not, unless again there is a serious injury, I'll do it on one leg.
Yeah.
But like you could still, right? Whatever. I'll crawl.
Yeah.
You know,
Special Olympics for you.
I can't say what I was going to say. Yeah, that's a whole different one too in itself, though.
That was a joke, by the way.
I'll probably cut that anyway. A question for you, my boy. Who are you right now, and how has that changed over time?
I think who I am right now is someone who is just in the stages of changes, growing, and kind of seeing what I'm made of.
Is that all right
I think it's fine.
to you?
Yeah.
But I think some of the outside perspective and pressure we put on ourselves is we need to have it figured out.
Yeah, who's your toughest critic? It's yourself.
Are you all right with being in that growth stage? Have you accepted it for yourself? Are you like, I need to get to this point? I'm not all right with the phase I'm in. I want to be here.
I think it's uncomfortable. I'm okay with it because I feel good and passionate about what I'm working on. So I have a vision. I think career-wise, like, you never know what that vision is, so that's harder to pinpoint. But yeah,
What if none of it works out?
it will.
It's a great response.
Yeah.
Fraternity in college. I'm curious your opinion. Sam and I talked about this a little bit. And I think that there's some different stigma behind being a college student, being in a fraternity.
Yeah.
The way I felt about it. What were your thoughts as you joined the fraternity? Like, you didn't rush freshman year, first semester, because why? And then what changed?
Fear?
You didn't rush because of fear?
Part of it. I mean, I think going into college, you hear about fraternities, right? And everyone has this is actually funny, we talked about this earlier, but everyone has their own concept of them, right? Like, my family was not the biggest fan of a fraternity. So internally, that's what I heard in my house, or maybe with some people around me, right? You see some things about like some of the hazing that happens in the South, or some of those bad stories, and you can create your own storyline of it, right? But like, that's not what actually is happening here, or what that story actually might be. So I think it was some of just like, I'm unsure. I was living with home friends, and it was safe. I think most decisions happening that we've been talking about is about like risk and safety. And then I was talking to Dom, shout out Dom, that was like, dude, just come to some of the events. Like, there's a lot of guys from Rhode Island, like there's a lot of guys you know from sports or whatever, like just see it out, come to some of the events. And like the first two events, you're meeting such a wide range of dudes, right? Like, they're coming from all different over the country, sports backgrounds, financial backgrounds, like arts, like literally anything. And when you get into a group that we had, fortunately, and Sam was talking about it, that's so driven, that's like pushing you to new limits. Again, your environment, it's like, how do you not want to join something like that that's going to make you the best version of yourself at school?
And that was like the answer I kind of wanted you to give, because I was thinking it's the same theme of surround yourself with people that are going to push you. And
yeah, no matter what we were doing in a fraternity, like, we had great sports clubs teams. We had like people who were brilliant. Like, shout out Alex LaChance. Like, the guy's really smart.
What do you do now that you've graduated to keep those like-minded people around you and pushing you and, you know, continuing to prosper and drive?
I think it's the willingness to always like want to learn, and knowing that other people are going to know something you don't, or be better at something than you are, and being okay with that, which is hard, right? But like, I've been trying to do that more, and like, even though someone's like way better at you than something, it doesn't mean you can't become great at that. Like, just take the advice and humble yourself, basically, and not have an ego about things.
Yeah. This question is so off topic, but you kind of mentioned it, because I think people tend to conform their opinions without experiencing something.
Okay.
And like, to your example, is your family had this interpretation of what fraternities are like, never having seen it or experienced it hands-on.
Yeah.
I think that is a problem in society, and I think it's probably like a 95% thing, is everybody has an opinion, and stoicism Marcus Aurelius says, you don't need to have an opinion on something you don't know about.
Yeah.
Like, I try to work on that to my core. But everybody has an opinion, and they don't know anything about it. They've never experienced it hands-on. An example may be, I traveled the world, and I'm hearing these opinions from people on, you got to go here, like, don't go here. I've heard this about. Have you experienced it hands-on? No, but I heard from somebody who did. So you don't have your own opinion. And now it's a game of telephone where you could hear barely anything.
So my phone will go off.
You could barely hear anything about something, and then you're conforming your own reality of that situation. And I think that is like a problem in society. Seriously.
Yeah, 100%. I think like it's a social norm problem, right? And it's like a what's right and what's not right too. Right?
Yeah.
Like going to your family creates this kind of vision for you, right? As most families, I guess, do. It's like, all right, you're supposed to go to school and do this, and you're supposed to be a doctor, or you're supposed to go to college, and all these different things. And they have these opinions about them. And you're just growing up. Like, you're absorbing this stuff while you really don't have opinions because you don't know. And then you're taking those opinions and basically saying, like, okay, this is probably what I think.
It's like politics is a good example of that.
Yeah.
Which we won't get into, but... I think it's
like when you were going to Australia or San Diego even, I'm sure people had plenty of opinions that have never been to either of them that were trying to be like, this is how it's going to go, or this is that, or you shouldn't go to San Diego, like it's really not that great.
In my opinion, it is people justifying what they've done themselves to keep them in a state of comfort.
Do you think it's just to make themselves feel better?
Yeah, I think it's to keep them comfortable, because if I can explain to you why I do what I do and I can get you on my side of the line, it's going to make sense to you, and now you're an ally.
Yeah.
If I can't get through to you and I can't get you to understand where I'm coming from, we're probably not going to be allies.
Yeah.
So survival-wise, I want you on this side of the line, right? I want you to see how I see. But if you don't, then we're not going to agree. And I think in the society we're in today, in times of peace, you need to accept that we're not going to see eye to eye, and it doesn't mean that either one of us are going to die any sooner because our clan is smaller.
Yeah.
Like, we're not in hunter-gatherer times anymore.
Yeah.
So to me, you still see it, and I don't think it's something that's just going to be, I don't think anybody would ever specifically change that because you want to feel comfortable, you want to feel like the people around you support you, and that you want to feel wanted.
Yeah.
But I think to the point that we're making is, like, you've conformed these opinions and you don't know anything about it. Like, go experience it, and then I'll value your opinion. And I'm so beyond, like, people saying what they...
I can't stand negative energy. That's
energy,
like one of my biggest things.
Negative energy, yes, and, like, that's the theme of this, right? Is somebody's not gonna come at me with a positive take and know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're positive and you've never done it...
Like, what's worse than, like,
great.
a Debbie Downer? Or someone who is going to put down a situation or put a thought on something.
Yeah.
Like, just because.
Yeah.
Like, why did you do that? It's because maybe it makes you feel better about the situation, but now you're trying to make me feel bad about it, even though I'm taking this huge risk.
Well, it's human nature again, and it's, there's the, I don't even know what.
Like, for example, the other day I was like, yeah, I'm moving to Boston, right? Which we can get into at some point too, and he was like, really? Boston? Like, why Boston?
Who?
And I'm like, just somebody I was talking to. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I live in Rhode Island right now. The last place I want to live is Rhode Island. I'm trying to go to a city. Like, I'm open, depending on offers and what happens with work. But, like, I want to travel. I want to live in a city. I want to experience life like this. Like, there's so much out there to, like, live in the same state. We could talk about moving out of your home. Yeah. But
I'm very opinionated on that one.
But, like, and I was like, this is what... But I'm at a point where, like, I don't care, Like,
well, I think also what happens with us is as we get older, we feel the need to justify ourselves less.
Yeah.
I don't need to explain to you, like, I don't owe you anything where I need to explain to you why I do what I do and why I think what I think.
Yeah.
Unless you're curious and you're open-minded, like, naturally curious, that's the reason for what I, like, sit here doing. I'm not going to try to change your mind. You don't get it and you never will.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's not worth it.
That's how it is. Yeah. If you come at me open-minded, I'll explain to you why, and I get very defensive when somebody who's more judgmental questions why I do what I do. Yeah. Or if I'm in a setting, and I feel like a good one is everybody knows these people, but it's like when we started Dream Big RI in college, right?
Yeah.
Or like starting a podcast or posting on social media, everybody knows someone. It's like, oh, how's your little podcast going? Like,
But they're almost asking you to, like, so you say it's not good.
they're pulling out that, like, how's that little thing you and Tabor are doing, like Dream Big? Like, we would get people asking, like, how's your little nonprofit?
Yeah.
And you're like just saying it in a way of like, it's good.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like we always had that, or like, oh, you're trying to be an influencer now? It's like, no. Like, I'm trying to build my business and my brand and pursue things. But it's just, those people, and you can only hear it so many times again until it seeps through the cracks, and you're like, today was a tough day, maybe I should just give up and not do it. And those days come. And I've gotten to the point, for me, where I'm like, I just have to get through today. Tomorrow will be better. Like, I've given up on trying to make today a win.
How do you feel about a day that you didn't get what you wanted to get done?
I think it's worse to put pressure on yourself, and because those happen to me frequently.
Yeah.
I think it's worse to be mad about it and beat yourself up about it, because then you're just going to increase your stress levels for no reason.
Yeah.
It happened, get through it.
Yeah.
You know, like did you have control in that moment? Yes, be better tomorrow.
Yeah.
If it happens again tomorrow, bite the bullet. This week wasn't it.
Yeah.
This week is a wash. It's Thursday already. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm taking Friday, Saturday, and I'm not doing anything, and I'm back Sunday. Like, I need to be back on Sunday, but I know if I worry about it now, if I worry about not doing it tomorrow, it's going to ruin tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, like, accept a couple days are a wash.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you got to be your biggest supporter. Right?
Yeah. Or, you sit down and you just start. Like, we're human beings, I think. What is it called? Putting something off. Procrastination, yeah. It's inevitable. Especially like the admin shit. Like, I hate doing so many things.
Yeah.
And then I love doing so many things. Like, so. Moving to Boston, what's that looking like for you?
So working through some interviews right now. Met with a few different companies.
How's the interview process been?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the job market sucks. Like, really, for whatever. I mean, there are great outlets for our age, but it's also like so much more difficult to navigate, right? Like, the biggest thing, and I'll say this about anything in life, is like, connect, network, find people. Yeah. Like, my biggest advice for people like getting out of college and looking for jobs or going through that process is find recruiters, network, or find recruiters. Like, go to career fairs if you're in college, and recruiters will literally go there. But like, hop on LinkedIn and like find a company. Like, okay, who are the 3 recruiters that send out 3 emails, feelers, would love to introduce myself, whatever. Yeah. But it's really all about networking. Like, it's so hard to go to a wirehouse company like a Goldman Sachs just without financial background and be like, okay, like, you guys see what you want? You want to hire me? Like, no, we probably don't. Like, we're looking for someone coming out of one of the most prestigious colleges, which is extremely difficult. And like, for people who are doing that, like, that's awesome. I'm like, that's great for them. Like, they deserve to get those jobs. But yeah, going to Boston, I'm pumped. Like, want to be in a city, just want to be in that great environment. Like, want to be able to walk to different places as you do in San Diego, different gyms, events, like
community.
Go out to dinner, great bars, like, just good people.
Yeah. It's exciting. I think we're at a point of life where a lot of the unknown, and we'll look back hopefully in 10 years and just be like, damn, that was good.
Yeah.
Like the journey and the struggle, I love it. I love something about it.
Yeah.
How do you stay curious?
How do I stay curious? I'm a big would you rathers guy. So I don't have one today, but
come on, man.
I'll come back to you for one.
You don't have a would you rather right now? I know you got something.
I do, but I'll come back to it. But staying curious, like, right now, I love LinkedIn. I have Instagram, and I think that's the only social media app I have, which I've been trying to limit my usage. But I just go on LinkedIn, and I find people who are killing it or doing well, and I want to learn more about them. Like, how did they start that company? How did they make those connections? Like, how do they know who they know, and how did they get to where they went? How did that product or concept get created? Like, nowadays there's so many amazing things that are produced or created that entrepreneurs are doing. So yeah, just like literally seeing what's out there and being curious of how others succeed or what they're doing. My would you rather would be, would you rather
Oh God.
not be able to go to San Diego
Okay.
for the next 2 years, or have to live in Sydney? What are you laughing about?
Would you rather always start with like one really good
No,
question, and then the next one is always so bad.
Wasn't it? Didn't we used to do the 3 things, or was it
Was
the
it?
would you rather's?
Those are 3 things of what I'm thinking.
Fuck, wasn't it like fuck,
Fuck,
Mary,
Mary,
kill,
kill.
and I could never come up with one of the
It'd
last
always
ones.
be 2 great
great
ones, and
ones.
then the last one would always be so bad. It'd be like, yeah, obviously, yeah.
All right, would you rather not be able to move to San Diego for the next 2 years, or have your personal training business start thriving right now, but you're stuck in Connecticut for the next 5?
If I move to San Diego, is my business not going to thrive?
It's doing well, but it's going to take it's a process.
I think that's a tough question because similar to I'm going to answer this so seriously.
Good.
I think to your point on networking and who you surround yourself with, I think there is potential for business growth and marketing in other places outside of San Diego. But I think San Diego is where I personally want to be because I just love it, being around the world.
You're also a weather guy.
I am a big lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'll run outside in the rain and 0 degrees, but
Yeah, these 4 months, January,
yeah,
February,
it
March,
is what it
April,
is.
they're not
But
great.
I'd rather be in the sun.
Yeah.
It's a tough question. I'd say probably be in San Diego. I don't know. It depends.
I'm not saying
Right?
the business wouldn't thrive one day. I'm just saying you could turn the clock.
But that's a realistic question too, because I could stay home, work on my business, save money, and be in this environment.
Yeah.
Or I could go to San Diego where I'm spending money, but there's still again more opportunity there. I think, in my
The
opinion,
market to grow is much higher.
in that industry, social media,
You'd probably be more motivated,
more motivated. The people around me are doing it.
better content.
Better content, better everything. And now I'm instead of having to pull teeth and record by myself, I'm here's 3 buddies that are doing this.
Yeah.
Let's go get some content, post.
Yeah.
Let's start So environment. I'd rather be in San Diego.
Makes sense.
For you, to wrap it up, I'm trying to think, is there anything you'd want to say, upcoming projects, anything where people can kind of get a hold of you for anything? I know you're still in the beginning parts of the financial journey, but down the road, if somebody needs a financial analyst, a financial advisor, would that be something you would be promoting? Is there any entrepreneurship you want to promote right now?
Yeah, definitely down the road. I mean, if you need your finances taken care of, I'm your guy. Give me a little bit of time though. Instagram is Tabor Gates 5, maybe?
It is.
It is? Okay, did you check prior to this?
No, I
so that's where you can catch me if that's that. If not, I'm in one of every other Nico's posts back in the day.
Back in the day.
Entrepreneurial stuff, couple fun things happening. Well Duel, James McGovern, Jake Gilman and I are working on basically a competition health and wellness app to compete on health metrics, right? For the higher echelon of high rocks, hybrid athletes, like yourself out in San Diego, really looking forward to getting into some of those run clubs, high rocks clubs, and just creating the ultimate competition app for health and wellness. I mean, Strava absolutely kills it, billion-dollar company, have some competitions and some things challenging, or challenges that you can do. But we're really excited about that. App should come out live sometime in March in the App Store. So stay tuned to that. It's in my bio. If you have any questions, just reach out to me. And then something else in the works. I don't know if we're going to talk about it yet because it's a few months away, but I am working on, it's going to kind of be like a founder dinner, right? So some people who I recently networked with, we talked and they already do this, which is great, throughout the United States, and they get together founders and collab their business ideas, help them get with venture capital, help them, just kind of go through what their plan is and their vision and help that come to life. So a Rhode Island founder dinner soon to come, get together some people and just network and talk about business. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Thank you.
Brother.
How about yourself?
Upcoming stuff?
Yeah.
I I don't want to say it, but I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Because it's more like I would rather have it and then market it rather than not get it done.
Okay, fair. Lastly, which roommate are you most and least likely to see, or happy to see this weekend?
Always most excited to see Eric.
Least likely me or Kyle or Eric
No.
or Jordan.
No, least likely, I don't know. I talk to you the most, so
Yeah.
it's just like another day.
Me or Jordan.
Yeah, it's probably you or Jordan. Well, I haven't seen Kyle or Eric in forever. I talk to you all the time, and
I know.
Jordan is just Jordan. So,
Yeah.
Brother, thanks for coming on. Thanks
Yes,
for catching
sir.
up. We'll do it again.
Sounds good.
My guy.